Hi YouTube, welcome back to my channel. Sorry about the light. This time of year is just not good for filming, even by a window, and with all the lights on. It looks as if it's going to snow again outside here in London this afternoon, and I think this is as good as it's going to get. Anyway, today is a foundation chat. Specifically, I wanted to talk about and show you Beiges Healthy Glow Foundation by Chanel, which has had what I think they call a soft launch in the UK. I haven't really seen very much about it apart from on very kind of professional beauty bloggers' blogs. Very little fanfare. I think it was available on the Selfridges website, but not in very many colours. And I, in fact, went into my kind of favoured Covent Garden beauty-only store on Friday, kind of hoping actually that the spring collection would be out. That, by the way, is going to launch next Friday, or rather this Friday coming. But they did have Les Beige in all the colours, and I succumbed. So this is being marketed as a foundation rather than a BB or a CC or anything of that nature. I'll check the price. I think it was £36, but I may be wrong about that. I went for the third shade along, which was further along the spectrum than I expected. I was matched to that, and she was right. So I've got number 20, although in the powders I would be a number 10 if I was looking for an exact match. And in the foundations, they have an in-between shade over here in the UK, certainly, and I'm guessing France and Northern Europe, 12. But that has quite a pinky tint to it. This one is a perfect match for me at the moment with my winter skin. And yeah, I've worn it once, so this is a very provisional little review of this one. First of all, my only negative really is the packaging. It's this top. See that? I don't know why. I was kind of expecting this was going to be one of those magnetic tops, a bit like you get on the Exclusives perfume bottle, and I think some of the cosmetics as well, although I'm struggling to remember which. So I cheerfully tried to pick this up in the bathroom the other day by the top and nearly smashed the whole thing on the sink because it's just a very loose top. It doesn't even screw, it just comes on and off. I think that's poor show for £36, and they could have stuck the magnet in there to make it a bit more user-friendly. However, it is in a nice pump action, substantial glass bottle. So again, this isn't going to be brilliant for travel. How much product have you got here? More than enough, in my opinion. 30 millilitres, 1 fluid ounce. Let me show you. It's a very fluid foundation, looking a bit yellowy there, which works frankly on my skin because I have a lot of pink, or rather red undertone I like to blot out on my face. Blends very well into the skin, you know, bear in mind, skin of your hand, nothing like the skin of your face. I found this is a good match for me. I would regard it as light to medium coverage. It is slightly buildable. I wouldn't like to pack it on too much. You can definitely see your skin under it, but it just evens the tone and does give a nice, healthy, finished look, particularly with a finishing powder. I wouldn't say it was suitable if you're looking for medium to heavy coverage or have real problems that you want to cover, unless you are prepared to use a lot of concealer with it, which personally I would be, I think, because I like as much of my natural skin to show through with a foundation. But if you are looking for a heavier coverage, this is not the product. I would also say It's very heavily fragranced in the typical Chanel fragrance that you will know from a lot of the face products and the skin care range. I like the Chanel smell. It doesn't irritate my skin, so I'm absolutely fine with that. But if you like fragrance-free products, as usual, this one will not work for you. What can I say about the look? I do like it. I'm definitely going to wear this. If I'm honest, I would say it was a little less glowy than I expected, a little less dewy, perhaps, is the right phrase. I think I've got kind of combination to dry skin now, bordering on dry, and where it's dry, it's very dry. And this doesn't feel all that moisturising, so I definitely need to wear a very good moisturiser under it, which I tend to do anyway, so that's not an insuperable problem for me. But I suppose I was expecting it to be a bit more like the CC cream from a couple of years ago, which I raved about, not the SPF 50 of last year, which was a disaster, and I've still got, but I haven't really used, and I doubt I will use it. But this one with the SPF 30, which I absolutely loved, and I thought it had fair old coverage. You can see it's a tiny bit darker because it didn't come in many shades, but it felt very moisturising and protective of the skin. And it looked really kind of dewy on. More dewy, I would have to say, than this. Although, obviously, there's the advantage of it being in a lot more shades. So you are going to find, hopefully, a good shade for your skin tone, particularly if you're white Northern European. I don't think Chanel's so great for Southern European and women of colour. So that's the advantage with this, but a little less dewy and glowy than I was expecting. So I would have to say, although I like it, it's not going to take over from my all-time favourite, which is still the By Terry Cover Expert, which gives a little more coverage, not too much, but definitely feels more moisturising and, for me, gives a dewier look. However, if you veer towards liking the more matte look, although this isn't matte technically, this would definitely deliver. So definitely worth looking at. One thing additionally I can say, as I say, I've only worn it once. I wore it yesterday, and I put on my makeup quite late, about lunchtime. But, and here's a big confession, I didn't take my makeup off when I went to bed. So Caroline Hirons and all the rest of the YouTube gurus will probably strike me dead if they hear this, but I slept in my makeup last night. And I have to say, I woke up this morning still looking quite good with this baby. It didn't clog the pores. It, obviously wore off a bit, but not totally until I took it off this morning. Now, I don't recommend that you do that with your foundation too often, but I am making the point that it seemed to last pretty well without settling too much in pores, and didn't oxidize, stood the test of time. So a good quality product from that point of view. I have lurking in the background the Tom Ford Traceless and the Charlotte Tilbury Magic foundation, which I've been promising to review for quite a long time, both of which I've been alternating with. Not going to have time to do that now, but I would say that the Charlotte Tilbury Magic is probably the closest to the Les Beige. Very, very similar, I would say, in how they look on the skin. This is a tiny bit more matte. I wouldn't have a strong preference between the two of them, to be honest. I'll talk more about the Tilbury and the Tom Ford, I think, again. Push comes to shove. At the moment, it's early days with this one in particular, but I think I still would prefer the Tom Ford. But they're all they're all good foundations. You know, honestly, there are so many fantastic foundations out there at the moment, particularly for older skins, that can work wonders in just evening up the tone of your skin, giving you a bit of a glow. You know, the old days of the horrible pancakey type foundations really have gone. And equally, there are some fantastic products out there for people who need more coverage. I was in Burberry's on Friday as well, waiting for something and watching somebody being made up with their relatively new cashmere foundation, which I think is a medium coverage. And the woman was a lot younger than me, but had problem skin, and that was doing a fantastic job for her. So it's probably a bit too heavy a foundation for my personal preferences, but it looked really good from what I could see. So lots out there. I'll probably talk a little bit more about other foundations soonish, because I've got several on the go. I'm trying the Laura Mercier one as well. But I thought I'd just tell you about the Lait Beige, because the colours are running out. I think this is a limited run at the moment, although I'm sure they'll get more in. And the spring collection, I'll be talking about that soon, hopefully. Until then, bye for now.